Welcome back to City Line. You know, recently I had a chance to interview a man who single-handedly changed the face of American music. I saw Rick James at the Palladium. I expected him to be brash and arrogant, but he had a very human side, as you'll see in this interview. Why the layoff? Why the five-year hiatus?
5.5 years.
5.5 year layoff.
I wanted to go like 10 years, but I thought 5 years hiatus was fine. I don't know. It's I was gigging for like I was working for like 6 years straight since '78, and coming off a string of a lot of records and a lot of quote adulation and different stuff, and it was a lot of fun. And then I woke up one day and I just said, "This is like really boring, you know." You know, it was just like make an album, do a tour, do a television show, make an album, do a tour, do a television show. It just became really redundant, you know, just really just an ongoing thing of the same old thing. I just got really tired of it, you know, and I decided I needed time myself, really.
So in other words, you feel as though you were being tapped out creatively and you needed time to rejuvenate your creative juices.
I was being a wee bit drained, you know. I remember I was on stage in New Orleans, you know, it was about 60,000 or 70,000 people or something, and I just looked out all of a sudden, you know, and I just said, well, I'm through with this, I can't do it anymore. That was my last time I performed.
But during your hiatus, you did have your hand in the production end of the business, did you not?
Well, musically, yeah, I mean, you know, music is something I can never quite, you know, seem to get away from. I was doing quite a few acts in that 5 years, 5.5 years.
Such as?
Eddie Murphy, the Mary Jane Girls, I did 3 albums on them. A couple movie soundtrack things. Val Young, this artist I had, who did quite well in the dance charts.
Black Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Process and the Do-Rags, these 5 guys I put together, kind of old 50-ish kind of doo-wop stuff. And a few other things. Another thing with Shaka Khan, and you know, stuff like that. I was doing fun stuff. I was doing stuff I really wanted to do.
Describe for me your childhood. Okay, you come from a family of 8. Okay, what was your childhood like? First off, were you from a musical family?
Well, I'm from Buffalo. And I grew up 4 boys, 4 girls. And my father left my mother when I was quite young. And she did took on a job of being father and mother and raising all of us. And she did a wonderful job, I think. I was total trouble for my mother. I was absolute death trouble, you know. I in and out of, you know, juvenile homes, you know. I went to jail a couple times when I was of age to do that. I guess I had to...
were you angry, or...?
Yeah, I was. You know, I mean, I had a lot of, internal anger. I mean, I was angry that, you know, there was a ghetto. I was angry that there were black people in it. I was angry that there was poverty. I was angry that, you know, my family didn't have a Cadillac, you know, which I can't stand Cadillacs. And I'm glad she didn't get one. But I was angry about a lot of things. I was angry my mother had to work 2 or 3 jobs to support us. I was angry I was on welfare. And I was angry at all those things. But it's fine to be angry and to be bitter. It's another thing to, like, change those things around. So
then you obviously saw music as a way out of your social situation.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I hadn't finished school. In those days, it was like, hey, if you don't go to college and you don't get degrees in education, you're going to be nothing in life, which is somewhat true. I had to, music is something that came to me naturally. I mean, I would beat on pots and pans naturally. I'd pick up a broom and strum it like a guitar, you know, all these weird things.
Consider yourself a prodigy? Or just hard work?
Probably a little bit of both, you know. My mother was a singer, but most of my family aren't, you know, musically inclined. I guess I wanted out, you know. Any situation that's I feel is not right, whether it be politically or spiritually or physically, I want out. And I was determined to get out. So I went to Canada. I went to live in Europe. I traveled. I saw. I learned. I put it all together in music and made it work.
At any point did drugs get to be a problem in your life?
Yes, drugs were very problematic. Drugs were a serious problem at different points and times in my life. I think drugs and alcohol and all that kind of stuff is indicative in the lifestyle of music and entertainment. I find most musicians, entertainers I know, escaping maybe. Some of them even say it enhances their creativity, which I think is kind of funny. But the bottom line of it is that I've had my ups and downs with that, so I can write about it and I can talk about it. You know, I'm experienced to do that.
How did we get the honor of being your first stop?
Well, I love Baltimore, and I've always had very great success in Baltimore and Washington area. I don't think it was too much of a surprise for my people when I decided I wanted to play in Baltimore. The first part of this tour are small places, such as what we're in now, the Palladium. And that's for me to get a feeling back. You know, I don't think I could have just jumped in doing
60, 70,000 people.
60, 70,000 or 3,000 or 4,000, if that, you know, for that fact. I had to jump in where I could get a closeness. Last night I really enjoyed it. It was like, it kind of gave me that old feeling again, you know?
Yeah.
It's good for me to just relate to people in a closeness right now. That's, I think, is really good for me, as opposed to being far away and having, you know, the grandiose lights and everything set up and the backdrops and the falling lights and the pyro, you know. People are like right there. I can touch them, you know, I can reach out.
Was it like riding a bike? I mean, did you just jump right back on and you were gone? Or?
Yeah, jumped back on and fell a couple times.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. How'd you feel before the show? Was there any apprehension?
Yeah, I was scared. I was really scared. I was really nervous, you know. I was really, really nervous.
Well, they said
I'm still nervous.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's going to stop. Maybe it never will.
Isn't that a part of the game? I mean, aren't you always
No,
nervous?
because there was a time when I used to, you know, go out there. It was, you know, yeah, let me have them, you know. Let me have them. But now there's a bit of anxiety in there, and I think that's good, you know. I think it's good for one to feel emotional.
That's good. By George, I think we might be ready for them. OT.
I'm Jackie Hall.
And I'm Harold Anthony. I'll see you next Sunday at noon on City Live.